Hey guys, what's up? This is GVKcollectibles, and I hope you're ready to get your rock on, because today we'll be taking a look at Batman from Dark Knight's Metal. What's up? So today, as I said in the intro, as I always say in the intro, we will be taking a look at Batman from DC Multiverse, from McFarlane Toys, of course. And this particular Batman is from Batman's Dark Knight Metal, which was an event that was written and drawn by Greg Capullo, of course. Not written by Greg Capullo, I mean written by Scott Snyder and written by Scott Snyder and drawn by Greg Capullo. It was kind of like their swan song, essentially, for their whole run on Batman. It was supposedly going to be the last time that they worked together, but this event turned out so good. Well, it sold a lot, and they're currently doing Dark Knight Death Metal. There we go. That's the one that they're doing right now. But this figure immediately caught my eye because it is the so essentially what it is the Rebirth Batman design. But it is comes with these two battle axes and some two Build-A-Figure pieces for the Batman, the Merciless one from the Dark Multiverse, of course. But yeah, you get a cool open box window. This is a part of the Merciless Build-A-Figure wave, of course, which is consisted of Infected Superman, I think one of the Infected Robins, and a Batman Who Laughs. It's really cool. Like, I really dig the look so far of the box. So far, McFarlane has done a fantastic job with their box designs. In comparison to, I think, Mattel. It's really, really cool. You have DC Multiverse right here because technically it just delves into the multiverse, which is really, really cool. And you get a side profile. We have Batman, Dark Knight's Metal, of course, with the logo of the event right there. Then on the back you get the cool art, this cool Greg Capullo shot, which is also, not to mention, it is a trading card also, so you get to have that too, of the cover. The source is the Forge from Metal, the New Age of Heroes, Ashcam edition. So essentially this is what it's going off of, this cover, which is really, really cool. I want to kind of actually find this cover and actually have it. Then you get to also see the other figures in the wave. You get to see one of the Robins. You get to see the Batman Who Laughs and Infected Superman, assuming from the Infection, which I assume is from, I think it's actually from the storyline of the Batman Who Laughs, or it could be from DC Deceased. But yeah, you get to see, this is what the Build-A-Figure includes. I really like how this one it's like it's not a huge wave, and that pretty much all the figures are getting into, God, what is it? All the Build-A-Figure pieces are within the same box. Like, the legs will come with one, so it's only really you have to get 4 figures, as opposed to, like, I think with the Marvel Legends it's like roughly 6, or the whole, like, I think 6 or 5-ish figures within the wave to be able to get everything. So yeah, you get you get the cool back shot, you get the Merciless Batman right there, you get collect them all in different languages. You get, of course, you have the follow McFarlane Toys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram with the logo, nothing really on the bottom, and the DC logo on the top. So, with that out of the way, let's get on to opening this guy. We have Batman out of the packaging, and man, what do I gotta say about this figure? It looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks, it's so crazy that I'm able to get it in the pose of the actual the actual comic cover, which is really, really cool. And I think McFarlane has done continuously improved on their figure game. I think they're getting on par with NECA in terms of like articulation and paint detailing. NECA, I think, has just been utterly fantastic with a lot of their stuff, but like McFarlane has come a long way from the Halo figures, which like at the time really well detailed, but ultimately they have really shoddy like articulation, everything. This is very much improved on that, and even when they started to do the 6-inch figures, they were still kind of that statuesque style. Not with this guy. This guy is fully articulated. He's very much like the Spawn, the Wonder Woman, the Batgirl, which I had, and God, what other one? The Space Marine. There, like the articulation is utterly fantastic on this Batman so far, of what I can say. I do have a few minor gripes about it. I think one minor gripe I have about it, and we'll get to that. But like first impression so far, the figure is absolutely phenomenal. But before we jump into the figure itself, checking out its details and stuff, let's look at its accessories, because he does come with a few accessories. So, as I said, Batman does come with a few accessories, but the first thing I want to get out of the way first is just the Build-A-Figure pieces. So, normally I don't do Build-A-Figure pieces that often, but I have to admit, like, the Merciless is making me want to get the other figures within the line itself, just because it looks so good. Like, so far, this guy, like, with many the other Build-A-Figures in the wave, as you guys saw in the packaging, he comes with the right and left arm of the Merciless Batman, and what I gotta say, man, that blue paint looks phenomenal on this figure. I really love the Merciless design, too. I didn't read the comic, I didn't read Dark Knight Metal at all, but I do really love a lot of the designs, because the designs of what it is why it's called, it kind of like Greg Capullo style, especially with the art style, a lot of the Batmans, how they're designed, and even like the Dark Multiverse is it feels like it's very inspired by heavy metal cover, cover art for like the albums and stuff, which I really, really love. I love that aesthetic, and they're able to do that with Batman. Which is very unique to see Batman kind of in this kind of multiversal hero kind of thing. You usually see like somebody like Superman dealing with that kind of stuff, but it's really cool. As I said, and it's like there's really a lot of good details. I hope the camera's picking up, like the chainmail here. It just looks phenomenal, and it's very similar on this arm too. Once again, it's very debatable if I want to get the Build-A-Figure. I kind of really want to, actually, because it looks absolutely fantastic. But with the Build-A-Figure pieces out of the way, Batman does come with, for Batman himself, he does come with these two acts, like he does within the cover of the comic, which look really, really good, really detailed. Another thing is, you would think they're practically the same. They have the similar kind of, this part right here is very similar, but this one has the longer piece, and this one's a lot shorter, which is really, really cool. But once again, both these have really a good amount of detail on them and paint apps on them. There's this kind of tan color, and you get the wood right here, and there's I really like it because it also shows like it's kind of sharpened, and it's a colder kind of blade through like the little scraps on the side, which looks really, really great. And like with all the DC Multiverse characters, he does come with a base. This one isn't really special. It isn't like the Spawn one. I think the Spawn or the well, it's just a generic kind of thing. It's just DC. It isn't like the Warhammer one where it has the Warhammer in colors. Although that could ultimately change, I do see the DC logo kind of being that. But once again, this display base does a really good job. As you guys saw, it does a really great job of keeping the figure up. And also, much like all the other McFarlane DC figures, he does come with a trading card with this, the wonderful cover done by Greg Capullo. And you get information of where the source is from, real name, everything, and which is essentially, this is just Batman from the regular DC universe. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's jump into Batman himself. Here's Batman. As I think I said during the beginning of the video, I really dig the DC Rebirth design. I really like the Bat logo with the yellow kind of outline too. I just generally love it. So let's get into it. Ultimately, I thought the suit actually has a lot of it's not just a solid gray color. There's different kind of sculpting within the suit itself. So it is essentially like a kind of the traditional Batman suit of what you see, but there is kind of little cool. Let's see if I can hold on. Let me see if I can zoom. You guys can kind of see right there, there's little details here and there, like a lot of grooving. It actually looks kind of like a bat almost. Yeah. Oh, and there's a lot of more detail right here. It's got a good, yeah. So we'll get into that later. But a lot of cool things. Bat cowl looks really good. The one thing I think this figure does, because there was I was going to pick up the previous Batman figure that they did, that McFarlane did, which was the Detective Comics 10,000, the anniversary issue one. I really like that, the design of the costume. I like the body mold and everything. The only thing that killed it for me was the head, and since then I feel like that's kind of been rectified. I feel like this is a decently proportioned head to Batman. If you guys noticed the other one, the Detective Comics one, it looks a little small on the small side, which could bother people. Like but it kind of bothered me. But you get some really good detail, and this isn't just a flat kind of like plastic either. There's like bumps and grooves in it, which is really, really good detailing on it, which is really, really cool. What you want in a Batman figure. I do particularly like the kind of this is the traditional kind of Batman suit where it's the gray with the black logo, and there would be the trunks right there, but since this is like kind of it's still within the Rebirth design, they kind of disregard that. Really, really good detail, and even boots have the same kind of detail and like texture as the gauntlets, which is really, really good. Yeah, and the cape looks really, really cool, really dynamic pose. Like, I'm a proponent of cloth capes, but ultimately McFarlane has proven themselves, and Todd and everybody who works on the team of these figures have proven that these, the kind of like rubber plastic capes can work really, really well. It's really bendable, really pliable. I don't see this thing like breaking a lot, which is really, really good. So, yeah. With that out of the way, let's get into Batman's articulation next. So with articulation for Batman, he can't really look up too much. So one of my complaints with the joint is that this head articulation, like the head articulation, it's only really the neck is the movable part, which is kind of sad. But like, once again, you can actually get some, like, it has a good range of motion, like a Batman, like, how would you want your Batman figure to be? My only complaint is the no articulation within this head unit right here, where it would be able to look up, look down. But you know what? It's a minor gripe, and I could see that being an off-putting thing for a lot of people. I never really noticed it until then. But like at the same time, it still achieves of what this Batman figure wants to be. It's just being a really, really cool Batman figure. So he can move out his arms that way. As you saw in the previous video, there is an ab crunch, and there's also, I think, it looks like a swivel. Yeah, it can swivel, crunch, swivel. And it looks like the lower abdomen right here has kind of a swivel as well. There's a bit of articulation right there too. There's the arm, it moves out all the way. There's kind of like a butterfly kind of joint. I don't think it's a butterfly joint, but it has a good range of motion right here. Arms are about to move out that. Double jointed elbows, which is really, really good. McFarlane's come a long way, especially with that Doom Guy figure, where it was only a single joint of articulation. Granted, that figure still is kind of a early type. I would really want to see McFarlane do a 2.0 of that Doom Guy figure, but back to Batman anyway. His legs can go out that far. They can actually go back really far too, which is really impressive. Cape is not really articulated, which is okay. Double jointed knees, and there is a feet can move down that way. They got a good ankle pivot, and they have toe articulation, which is really, really good. Really good. Once again, this is a really, really solid Batman figure. So with that out of the way, let's get to some size comparisons to see what he sells with. And here we have Batman compared to some other 7-inch figures and a 6-inch figure, of course, from different companies. Here we have him next to the Wicked Cool Toys Master Chief from Halo Infinite. We have him next to Parker from from NECA Toys from the Aliens 40th Anniversary line, and of course the Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. So he's about normal scale for a 7-inch figure, which is expected. I think these two might scale relatively good. It's really cool to see him next to the Master Chief, but yeah, he's a pretty good, decent sized 7-inch scale figure, I think. Here we have him compared to some other DC figures. I pulled out the Batgirl from McFarlane also, and the Batman from NECA from the Batman vs. Predator 2-back, and Wonder Woman from '84. So he scales pretty good. I feel like Barbara, the Batgirl, Barbara's a little taller than this Batman, but it could just be how I have Barbara posed at the same time. But it's really cool to see all these figures together, see these different Batman figures. This is the only other Batman figure I have. Currently, right now, I'm selling the old Arkham Knight one from DC Collectibles on my Mercari shop. But it's really, really cool just to see these kind of different these different figures, and also to see the kind of different styles of McFarlane toys that we've gotten to see so far. We have Batman posed with the two members of the Trinity, aka, with Wonder Woman and Superman. Recently with the inclusion of the Action Comics 1000 Superman. And this is a really, really cool thing that I love to see. I think it looks excellent. So, overall thoughts on the Batman figure, I really dig it. It's a really, really cool, current kind of modern interpretation of Batman, with a few twists here and there, with some kind of throwbacks to kind of tributes to heavy metal covers and everything. I think the figure is actually great. The only problem I have with it is, once again, the neck, in comparison to like the Wonder Woman figure and even the Superman figure, where it has relatively good head articulation. But ultimately, it does its job, and I think it looks really, really good. And if you are a fan of just Batman or the DC Collectibles line, mainly the DC Multiverse Collectibles line, I just totally suggest picking it up, because you cannot tell me that this looks awesome. Like, having Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, even though that, like, they're all from different things. These two are from the same comic. This is from Wonder Woman from the movie, but overall, I think it's really, really cool. Once again, definitely pick this up. You can find this. I found him at Target, but you can also check their local comic book stores. Walmart carries a few of them, I think. And I'm trying to think of what else. Target, of course, as I said. But with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Sorry, I was kind of rambling at the last point. But if you liked what you saw, make sure to hit like and remember to subscribe and hit the little bell notification so you can get notified of when new videos like Mythical Mountain Mondays, What's in the Box Wednesdays, and figure reviews come out. I had a lot of fun time with this figure. I think it's a great figure. Also, check us out, my Jack's Pop Guy and me out on Mercari. I have a little bit of everything on my page. He specializes in Funko Pops, of course, so you'll get to see a lot of cool Funko Pops. Also, another thing, too, make sure to follow us on Instagram. You'll get to see probably close-ups of the Batman, of course. You'll get to see the whole kind of loot and everything. You'll get to see what I get on comic book days and everything, and just generally a lot closer look at stuff. So, yeah, and also check out Jack's Pop Guy, too. He's going to be eventually running a auction, I believe. I don't know when. We keep saying it, but with that out of the way, I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys be safe on Black Friday, of course, or just stay home in general, too. That's a good idea, too. But with that out of the way, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.